I basically came to the conclusion that I'd rather not to fit in any of the boxes that they try to put you in. I'd rather just live in plain view and let people come along the story. And then I think they could understand exactly what goes into it from our perspective. And I think it might differentiate us from what's out there.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Carnivore Granny Chats. I am Sans voice today for some reason, but we are lucky as we have Gabe Orr here with Plainview Beef Company. He's going to talk to us about his passion and what he does to supply us with some really healthy meat. So Gabe, how you doing today?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for coming on. So tell us about Plainview Beef and how you got started, and tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so Plainview is it's not a place, although it is a place in the U.S. It's for us, it's a way of life. We want to keep things out in plain view, so that anyone who would want to try our products or come visit us or whatever it is, we want everything in plain view so that we don't hide anything. And I think my story with this company and this idea was I kept going to the grocery store and kind of wondering what all the labels mean and what's the actual practices that go behind like organic and the different things that we see in our food today. And my family has been in the cattle business. I'm a fifth generation. So, they've raised cattle with similar practices to what they do all across the United States, which to me, when you start studying health and being health conscious, it's a little bit scary what goes into our beef, right down to the way it's processed and the way that it gets packaged up and the way it puts in front of us at the grocery store. So I started researching all those different things, and I basically came to the conclusion that I'd rather not to fit in any of the boxes that they try to put you in. I'd rather just live in plain view and let people come along the story. And then I think they could understand exactly what goes into it from our perspective. And I think it might differentiate us from what's out there. So that's where we're at today. So we've created a completely regenerative farm and ranch, and we've brought 125 head of cattle out for our first go around. And we're feeding them all with a feedstock that's harvested fresh every day. And we're rotationally grazing them around the property without using chemicals or pesticides or fertilizers or any synthetics. So what we get is cattle that are extremely healthy. And it's amazing that we're finding this out with different people that are eating beef and all the benefits. But what we're doing is noticing that the healthier we feed the cattle, that we don't need to actually doctor them with antibiotics, and the cattle are actually super healthy. So they're responding really well from treating them really with really healthy inputs. And I think in turn, the nutritional value of our meat is exponentially greater.
Yeah, it's kind of works just like humans, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we've kind of lost sight of all these things and trying to, and people in the cattle business that they work really hard, they do a great job, but I think they just try to do the best they can to stay afloat, and to make ends meet. And I get it, with my family's history. I mean, it's not like we're immensely successful at times, right? Raising cattle, the margins are tight. But what I'm trying to do is basically say enough is enough. Let's get together and build something where health is the main focus and not profit. Although we're in business to make money, but I think if we can create a healthy product, I think people would pay a premium for it if they know what goes into it. So that's what we're trying to achieve with Plainview Beef. And the crazy thing about what we did is I set out to, with our team, is kind of set out to raise healthy meat so that we could sell and share with people directly to their door. But I also didn't even realize when we first started that there's so many healthy byproducts that go along with that. So we've since got into researching and developing a tallow product line for skincare, and then we've done some organ supplements with a company that's helping us develop formulas that really help, supplement things that maybe multivitamins had in the past or synthetic, formulas would do in the past. But we found that you can find all these things in greater digestible quantities in the beef cattle. So, that's all super exciting too, that we're able to, just use the whole animal and be a good steward in that way as well.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's great. So, what is the most challenging part of raising your cattle this way and ranching this way?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part is the cost, would prohibit most people from just taking on this. And so, one of the unique things about my family is my father has been a finance guy in accounting, and he's also developed some track record of raising capital for different projects. And so we've been able to raise a number of investor capital for this particular enterprise. So we have some outside investors involved, which really helps us from an economies of scale perspective. And I think there's a certain level of investment we needed to have in order to take on some of the operation. And one of the, just to give you a bit of perspective, so when you go out to feed a cattle with an all grass fed, without chemical free ration type of thing, cattle will tend to eat about 100 pounds of grass per animal per day. And so if you could pile that grass up, it would be way over my head. It's an enormous amount of food that an animal needs to eat just to maintain their body weight. And what we're trying to do in the cattle industry is get them to put on 2 or 3 pounds a day. So we need to ensure that they have that in the pasture to eat. But then in the grass fed industry, oftentimes, I don't know about you, but if so a lot of people, they prefer like a grain fed steak, the taste of it, to a grass fed steak. And that's just because the animals they just don't have the feed availability. When you start feeding them all grass, it's difficult to get the quantities of grass needed to maintain the animals' energy levels and what they need to put on weight and muscle. So um, what we've been able to do is grow grass in a monitored environment using computers and systems. And so we actually harvest every single day a fresh batch of grass, 365 days a year, and we don't need to use any fertilizers or chemicals or pesticides or anything because it's all indoors.
Wow.
Yeah, so we monitor the water, and we just monitor any inputs going into the plant. And the cool thing about what we're doing is we can harvest at such a precise moment that we can do it at the highest nutritional value for the animal in that grass. And what we've learned is that if you do that, you can get the enzymes and the healthy things that are in the grass to actually help the digestive process of the cattle, so they get way more feed efficiency from what they're eating. So these are the kind of things that we've been able to achieve by having a little bit of economy of scale with our operation.
Wow, that's amazing. And where are you located?
Yeah, so our cattle are all out in Waukene, Kansas. It's actually just off I-70 in the, the part of Kansas where if you know Kansas and you have to drive across, everyone just tries to go as fast as they can to get through there. But we're kind of in the middle part of that long stretch, and just a few miles off the interstate there.
That's funny you say that. That's like one of the states I can't wait to visit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, come visit us. We'd love to have you out on the ranch.
Oh,
Yeah,
we will definitely come visit you. This is a side note, but we're going to be doing full-time RV soon. So we'll
yeah,
definitely come and see you.
nice. We
Yeah.
have an RV park, I think, a few miles from our ranch, and there's yeah, it's actually, for Kansas, it's a beautiful place, so we like it.
Yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. So what precautions do you have to take during the different seasons? Like you guys have pretty dramatic seasons, don't you?
Yeah, we just had 2 weeks ago 40 below zero. So it was like a freezer. It was crazy. So 40 below, and then 2 days later, after 40 below, it went to like 50 degrees above. So it was like a dramatic change there. But the cattle, they're built for the cold. They do fine. Obviously, work a lot harder when it's that cold to keep the water and keep the feed in front of them and make sure they have windbreaks, things like that. But as far as our feed process, again, it's all climatized, so it doesn't really affect that too much, which is pretty neat and pretty innovative. So yeah, we have that advantage over other operations, I guess. We're able to provide that, and then we um, we need to just make sure that with seasons, we also implement a virtual fencing technology that allows us to change the pasture or the area that the cattle roam on every day. So literally, I schedule their movements around the property with my computer and just draw lines. Yeah, and they just stay inside of that, and we can just move them wherever so that they're always on fresh ground. And it really helps with the health of the cattle as well, because in the U.S. traditionally cattle are fed in feedlots, right? And they're just packed together, and they're always in the same spot, and it's just not a real healthy environment for them. So they're normally their health is propped up with antibiotics, with steroids, with other synthetic things that they put into it. And I think we're learning those things kind of end up in the meat. So we really don't want to eat that. So that's what we're trying to avoid.
That's amazing. So, how can people get a hold of you and buy your product and things? How does that work?
Yeah. So right now, we're offering pre-orders for all of our beef. So that they're in bundle boxes. And we have anything from a 10-pound ground beef option to up to 360 pounds of nearly a whole animal. So all of those all of those options are available, and it's basically just a price point, and then there's some options there if people like premium steaks or they want to have a barbecue type option. We have some variability, but we try to bundle the cuts together to help us to utilize the whole animal and not have any waste. So those are the kind of options. And then obviously with the skincare, it's there on our site too. So plainviewbeef.com, you can find all the different options, and we'll be rolling that out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
hello and everything. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's pretty much us. We want to. We'd also love to have people come visit us out in Waukene, because I think we've built everything that we'd like. We enjoy having visitors, and we also want it to be in Plainview. So we want people to stop by and take a look at the operation, and just get to see what we have a passion about.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I would love to come see you guys and do a tour of your property and things and see all
Yeah.
the animals. That would be amazing. This sounds like a fantastic project. I love this whole natural, no chemicals and the electric fencing. That's like modern day cowboy right there. That's
Right. Yeah.
heard of that. That's amazing.
It is pretty neat. I mean, when you see it, it kind of blows your mind. The cattle get a voice command and then a vibration command, and they're just really smart. They understand how to kind of obey the boundaries, and they just kind of go there and interact with it, and then just kind of go their way. So it is pretty neat to see in person.
That's awesome. Well, Gabe, thank you so much for joining us, and I really hope you can come back and tell us more sometime, and hopefully we can get out there and see you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I hope your voice gets back and going.
I have no idea what's going on. I just woke up like this, so I feel great. It's just gone for some reason. So
Yeah, I appreciate your stories about your journey with the carnivore diet and just the things that it's done for you and your family. I mean, I think we want to also learn as much as we can about that. I mean, I haven't gone full carnivore, but I have some people around me that have, and we want to be able to learn and glean from that as well. So we'll
yeah,
definitely.
it's truly amazing, thing. And it's funny, like I would say for most people, once you go that full 100% carnivore, like it's a whole new level up. like we cut out the processed foods first and then, cause stuff like that. So it was kind of like slow levels. But once you cut out all the extra stuff, it's just like, I don't know, it's like level 11, or something in a game. Like you just get to that bonus level. So I highly suggest it, and journal and track your progress, even if, you don't have a whole lot of health issues or, weight loss or anything like that. It's still, you're going to see progress. You're going to see changes. And that's one thing I was this morning just talking to my husband about. I'm like, I wish I would have journaled like every day. I'm like, I wish I would have journaled, you know,
Mm.
and it's just that daily, I ate this and this is how I felt, and things like that really makes a difference. But yeah, it's amazing, and I could talk about it for hours. Probably like you can talk about your cattle for hours.
Well, it's inspiring, stories of just everyday people like yourself that do these things, and I think it resonates with people. And so I appreciate what you're doing with the channel as well. I mean, I kind of understand you when you say I never wanted to start this channel, but here I am. It's kind of me too. I never wanted to do this like this, but I think what we're realizing is that we don't want things to stay with ourselves when we think it could help someone, right? And
Yeah,
so,
I think my family got tired of me talking to them about it, and
yeah,
my Facebook feed, they got all tired of me, and I'm like, you just feel compelled to help people, and you feel compelled to like tell your story, and
right.
just, I see people that are sick and inflamed, and it's just, and in pain, just, you can just see it on their face, and I just want to be like, hug them and be like, it's going to be okay. I can help you, you know,
Mm.
but not everybody is ready for that.
Yeah, I hear you. Everyone's at a different stage. Well, I'm really excited because your passion and your experience actually it kind of accelerates the things that I've been working on for the past 3 years because I don't really know. I didn't get into this because I knew anything about carnivore, but I understood all the things that are being put on meat to and in the cattle really to kind of alter the normal path of life for them, right? And I think intuitively I started to understand more, and the more I research and develop this, I there's things that I find out even on a monthly or a weekly basis where I'm like, oh man, we got to do something about that too, because we just can't accept that there's going to be anything that tarnishes the value of the beef that we eat. And so that's really my passion. So I think having someone like yourself and just connecting with you, I think it can really help and accelerate what I'm doing as well, because we're just trying to get the word out about what we're trying to do, and we don't do everything perfectly, and we're learning, right? But we do it in plain view, and we're just and the difficult thing for me is to be able to have an opportunity to explain to someone why it's different the way we're doing it. And I suppose I could talk for 20 minutes here about all the things we do, but it's really difficult to put that in a forum where people can actually digest and understand. Because you know if you're there every day, you understand, but if you don't understand it from any level, it would be shocking how much different grocery store beef is to what we're doing on the farm. So
Yeah, it's incredible. And, I'm still learning everything, carnivore and how to do this channel. I'm definitely not perfect. I'm not professional or anything.
yeah,
Just doing our best, and learning each day, and, you know, trying to get out microplastics and laundry detergent and all these things that you don't think,
right.
you're like, oh yeah, that does affect me, and it's a process. And I
Yeah,
I think overall, the carnivore, even the ranching community, we're all in this like transition of learning, all what has been lied to and done to us. And,
mm,
it's just, it's great that we have the tool of the phone in our pockets. We have all the knowledge, all of the research we can look up at a moment's notice.
right.
It's just in how you use that tool. Are you going to use it to educate and build yourself up? or are you just going to use it to play Angry Birds or whatever? You know,
Yeah,
it's,
right.
it's all a choice. And, you know, I crave knowledge and I seek information, you know, and I love to research. So for me, it just was natural. This whole progression was just so natural.
Yeah, and I think if you find things or you come across things that could, accelerate our learning process, please pass it over. I mean, we want to learn from people like yourself that probably have um, experienced things on the nutritional side that maybe I'm not even aware of. So, you
For
know,
sure.
help us if you come across things that are, you see something and you're like, "Oh, I don't like that. I want to change that." Well, let us try to work with you to make that happen.
Ditto, ditto. Like, yeah, it's great. And Carnivore is such a great community of like love and support. And, you know, I recently went to the Healing Humanity meetup and I was like on cloud nine for a week. Uh, just everybody supports everybody. There's nobody there to knock you down or tell you you're going to die of a heart attack or, you know, meat causes cancer. You know, you don't have any of that. Everybody understands and supports each other. And we're
Mhm.
all in our own journey, you know, we're
Yeah.
all healing in a different way, at a different pace. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's a great community and it's so great to meet you. And I can't wait to come out there now. I'm like, okay, somebody buy my house so I can.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're looking forward to having you out there, and it'll be better to come out here in a couple months. The weather will be nice, and you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, it's already 90 here. So
Oh, okay. And where are you based out of?
I'm in Southern Arizona.
Okay. Yeah. Very
So
good.
our winter is about 2 weeks long and it gets to about maybe 25 degrees at night. And that's about it.
Yeah, most people from our area head out your way when it's full on winter. So
Yeah, I don't snow. I'm allergic to it,
okay.
but yeah. Well, awesome, Gabe. Thank you for meeting with me, and you know, I hope we get to talk soon, again soon.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to talk, even when you're not feeling so good.
Yeah,
Appreciate it so
sorry
much.
about that.
Take care. All the best.
Thank you. Bye bye.